Hi, my name is Yoslin, and we're here on the One and Only Show. I'm with my guest, who is a photographer at Azteca 50, a local channel station here in the Bay Area. Mario, good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, my first question is, your official title is field producer, right? But we can say you're kind of like the cameraman at the station, correct?
I'm kind of I would say it's more of a field producer, but
Okay.
field producer does a little bit of everything.
Okay, so what does a field producer do then?
Field producer is a person that you're more likely to see on the side of the street when you're going home. You know, you see a car accident or you see maybe something happening, whether it's maybe like a local event or you're more likely to see the field producer and a reporter sometimes when you're going home. We're in charge of basically creating and basically writing, shooting and editing the stories.
Wow.
And try to make it in good quality so we can broadcast it.
Okay. And so when you're choosing, like, for example, B-roll, right? How do you know what not to and what to shoot?
Well, it depends on what we're shooting. We want to get a sense of what's happening around, not just focus on, for example, let's say there's a car accident.
Yeah.
We don't want to just focus on that, but we want to focus on reactions. We want to see what's happening.
So you would get interviews, right?
So we would get
People,
interviews, yeah, exactly.
Witnesses, okay.
Our main goal is to try to get witnesses, people that saw it. If we cannot get that, then we try to get just other interviews that can kind of help create a story. Therefore, the station can take it and they can use that footage.
Okay. And how does Azteca 50 differ from other channels or stations like Telemundo and Univision?
Well, the difference between Telemundo and Univision and Azteca is that, well, they're a lot older stations. They've been around for maybe longer than 25 years. Azteca has been around since 2001. However, it is the number 2 Hispanic or just Hispanic-speaking station in the world.
Wow.
So
Wow,
that's
really?
something that not that many people know.
Yeah.
And it's also the number 1 station that's growing the fastest here in America. So we're trying to compete with all these bigger stations. So that brings more work for us, but it also brings you a better feeling, because you're working towards making something that is very successful or something that is really good quality to be able to compete with.
That's true. That's really awesome. And so you told me in our last talk on the phone that Azteca 50 does something a little bit different than Telemundo and Univision, and that's that it caters to 2 different audiences, correct?
Exactly, yeah. Well, one of the things that we do is, since we're based in Mexico, our main network it's in Mexico, so we try to kind of get footage for our Mexican audience, but we also try to get footage for the audience that we have here. Now, unlike Univision and Telemundo, we try to focus more on men. Because we have to compete. So we have to compete on, Telemundo has a lot of soap operas, has a lot of shows that are targeting women. So we try to take some of that audience from them. So we have more sports, more boxing, more. So that's the way that we've been kind of successful here.
Okay.
And it's been allowing us to just grow the way that we're doing it right now. We are not as into, well, how can I explain it? We don't have local news.
Okay.
We call it local news, but it's not
Yeah.
produced here. Now we try to focus more of entertainment.
Okay.
So they're more likely to call us and say, "There's this person here coming. I want you to go and interview her,
Yeah.
or interview him, and try to get as much footage as you can. Whether they want you to interview them or not, get me something." So
Awesome. Yeah, that's so true. That's a good strategy.
yes,
I never thought of it like that.
It's people don't know that. People don't see that. So but that's the way that we have been able to grow the way we are right
And
now.
compete.
Yeah, and compete with.
Yeah. That's good. And Mario, apart from being a field producer, you also are a photographer,
Exactly.
correct?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I started doing photography a couple years ago, and basically I started doing concert photography, and then I became more of a commercial photographer. So now, even though I'm work for Channel 50 or Azteca 50, I'm also working with other stations. So I'm kind of like a freelancer photographer for all these other stations. So it gives me a better networking than
Awesome.
other photographers around. And
Okay. Well, I think we're just out of time right now. So if you'd like to check out some of Mario's work, you can go to www.mario-morquecho, MORQUECHO.com, correct?
Yep, correct.
And we'll be back for more news and for more guests. Thank you, Mario, for
Thank
being
you.
on here.
Thank you for having
We'll
me.
be back.